WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Here's your host, Rick Semmler.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Beyond the Stands. I am joined by a guest who was just with me a month ago. I'm talking about former Terre Haute South standout Jason Swarens. A month ago, he won the Big Ten title for shot put, and he had bigger things going on. I told him if he did well, we're going to have him back on, and well, guess what? Last week he did even bigger and better things. We'll get to that in a second. First of all, Jason joins us from Madison, Wisconsin. Jason, how's life treating you?
It's good. Just got back on Saturday and took Sunday off, and then went back in the weight room today.
He said he just got back. What he was doing is he was taking part in the NCAA Outdoor Track and Field Championships in Eugene, Oregon. What did he go out there and do? Well, he won the NCAA Division I Shot Put National Championship. Yes, Terre Haute owned Jason Swarens is a national champion. How's that sound, Jason?
Oh, it sounds great. I've had a couple people call me that over the last couple of days, and it feels good every time.
Got that smile on your face. You can tell that just it has a nice tone to it, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I got the trophy right here, actually. I've already put it on the shelf.
Let's see that trophy.
Right there.
Is that, would you say that's the most impressive trophy you've gotten?
Oh, yeah. It's sitting right in front of the fourth, third, and second place trophies.
I love it. I love it. Okay, so let's break down. You did this last week. You won the Shot Put National Championship. You went out there as the top seed. So first of all, I got to ask, did you feel the pressure to live up to that top seed?
Yes and no. I felt like this year we had a lot more throwers at the NCAA meet. We had Joseph White, Taylor Kessner, Chloe Lindemann, and Cole Hooper. So it felt a lot more like a normal meet, which was nice. And also with regionals, I didn't throw 21 meters there, so I guess I think I was ranked 5th kind of based off that, which kind of helps. It's like, I have the best mark, but, I didn't do it last week, so I'm not top dog quite yet.
Okay, so you speak of that. You're not the top dog quite yet. We get into the competition. You're the top seed, and, I followed it a little bit, and then I've read up on the stuff. You weren't getting the throws you exactly wanted at the beginning of this meet. Just talk me through what was going on. Were you not comfortable? What was going on with your shot put throws early on in this meet?
Yeah, after the first throw, you go into that first throw, you're nervous. You don't want to foul out the front of you don't want to fall out the front of the ring and foul. And so I went out there and got like a 19.50 meter mark, which is like, I think it's around 64 maybe. And so I went back to my coach. He's like, that should get you into finals. Now we just go after it, have some fun. And then went into like the second and third throw. Really wasn't quite there yet. I think I moved up to first. I did move up a little bit on one of those second or third throws. It placed me in first for finals. Still wasn't far enough. Went into the fourth round. Nothing really changed. In the fifth round, I think three people passed. Well, fifth round, 2 people passed me. Tarek and Kobe at Oregon. And then sixth round, on Thomas Kitchell's last throw from UNC, he passed me. So I was fourth going into my last throw, and all the throws before my sixth throw, I wasn't getting over the toe board, wasn't pushing the ball as far as I could, hitting it as hard as I could, and I just kept pulling my head out. I was like pulling off the ball, and finally went into that sixth throw. I knew it was going to take 21 to win, and obviously going into my sixth throw, I looked and, I think the best mark was like 20.84. So it's like, all right, I just got to beat that. And went out there. Right when I released the ball, I knew it was going to be a good one, saw where it landed. And all the emotion just showed. I was screaming and yelling. I was ecstatic. And that was a great moment.
You speak of that. You knew what you had to do. I played high school sports, but not to the level of what you do at the NCAA, the top level. Was it going through your mind like, I put all this training in, it all comes down to this throw? Or what was going through your mind at that time?
in that moment, going to the ring, you just kind of clear your head. Sometimes at practice, I'll have a rough practice and I'll just overthink it. And sometimes the best throws are when I'm just not even thinking about it and just go out there and just throw. After the meet, I really thought about, like, man, 5 years. I've went from the glide in high school and now I do the rotation, and I've gotten fourth, third, second, and finally was able to get that first place mark. And especially with a big throw, I was really happy with that.
You talked about a few minutes ago when you released that shot put and threw it. Did you know right away that was the throw that you had done it?
Yeah, I look back at the videos of me throwing that, and I have like a different, every time I throw, I'll have like a grunt or like a slight yell. And on that one, I really I tensed up and kind of flexed my muscles and like grunted hard at the end, and then saw where it landed immediately, turned around. I know I looked up in the stands and I saw because my coach, he stands on like the second level because he's easier to see everything. I look up there and he's with my teammates Chloe and Taylor, and he's high-fiving them, and my parents, grandparents, a bunch of family were there. Yeah, it was pretty emotional.
That's awesome. I want to thank our sponsors of the show, Crow Equipment Incorporated, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates, and Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, your 2018 American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning Building, a higher standard award winner for quality and reliability you can depend on. Call Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, 765-832-9401. I've known you for a long time. You're not the most emotional person, so obviously that throw got you emotional. Did it just all come out on you? Did all the years and everything? I mean, like I said, you're just not that emotional.
Yeah, I felt like this year I've been a little more emotional than I have been. Actually, a lot more emotional than I have been the last 22 years of my life. So I felt like 21 meters is just a really big deal, and you kind of work toward that mark. Once you get to college, it's like, all right, I want to throw 60 feet, and then it's like, all right, I've learned the meters now. I want to throw 19 meters, and it's like, all right, I want to throw 20 meters, and then 21 is like the big mark. And I used to say I would get more excited, playing video games, and you get a win in video games, but this year I've definitely shown my emotion. Those 21-meter throws get me going.
I love it. So describe to people what it's like. I mean, we've had people win stuff, but an NCAA national championship to win that. You're on the podium. It says national champ underneath you. The stadium's cheering for you. You're holding up that national championship trophy that you just showed us, but you're doing that in front of thousands of people. What is that like?
It's an amazing experience. I think track it's a great sport. I know you're a part of a team and they support you along the way, but they can't really help you in the weight room. Like, they can cheer you on, but you're moving the weight, you're throwing the shot, and they support you along the way. But in the end, you got to get it done in the ring, and to get it done at the biggest stage. And the NCAA meet, there's athletes from all over the world. There's Olympians there, there's world champions there, record holders, and to be able to compete around all those athletes and the great fans of Hayward Field, it's a phenomenal experience.
And you are the first Wisconsin Badger male to win the shot put outdoors. Storied program you're a part of. To be the first to do that, how special is that to you?
Very special. I know once I threw 70 feet at our home meet this year, I really felt like I was the best shot putter here at Wisconsin, and to win a national title just kind of adds to that. It's very exciting. I was looking at the wall in our locker room today. There's all the pictures of the national champions and track, and to be next to all those guys is great.
Well, I can tell you one thing. You've certainly worked towards that. So you earned that fame and that recognition. Another special moment out there for you. I talked about the crowd going crazy. You had your family out there, a lot of family out there for you. What did it mean to have them out there, and what was it like to celebrate with them, not only in the stadium but afterwards? I believe you guys went out to eat. What was that like?
Yeah, it was really fun. I went to breakfast with my mom and my grandparents, and then my great uncle, and we went out to breakfast that morning, and then At the meet, they were all there. It was I'm trying to think of everyone there. It was my mom, dad, stepmom, grandparents, my grandpa's two brothers, and then my aunt and uncle were there. And so they were all supporting me, and a lot of my family goes to every meet, especially my grandparents, my mom and dad. And so it was really fun to hang out with them. And then we went to go eat some food after, and all night they just couldn't stop thinking about that moment, and neither could I. Still can't stop thinking about it.
You're this big dude, 6'5", 300 pounds. I mean, you're big. But what does it mean? You said your family goes to all your meets. What does that support mean? I mean, to a guy like you.
It's huge. They've gone to every meet since I was a true freshman. I got to compete indoors, and my grandparents are Badger alumni, so they go to everything. They always bring cookies for my teammates. My teammates love them. My grandpa talks the ear off of them, and my grandma's there to support me, and then my mom and dad get to see me too a lot. Especially we do a lot of meets in Chicago for indoors, and they drive up for that. And then every year I've gone to outdoor nationals. They go. It was Austin, Texas, Eugene last year, Eugene this year, and that's not a short trip out there. It's not cheap either. I'm really happy that they are able to go see me compete.
Okay, so we've done a couple Zoom podcasts. Next time you're in Terre Haute, I need you to come in here, not only be a guest, but I need some of those cookies. I got to try them out.
All right, I could do that.
Okay.
She'll send me with she keeps like ice cream buckets, and she'll just fill them up. So I'll bring one of those back.
Yeah, grandma's grandparents, they make the best food, so I guarantee it's good.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, not that you have to cut weight into this, but can you eat? How much can you eat that? Do you have to maintain what you eat and all that stuff?
I think from my freshman year to now, I've gained probably. I was at 285, I think, my freshman year. Actually, maybe not even that. It might have been 275. And then now I'm like around 310 to 315. I've probably grown like an inch or two here in college, so weight hasn't been a problem. If anything, I need to put on more weight, especially for the weight room. So
I want to remind everybody where you can follow Beyond the Stands: Spotify, CastBox, Pocket Cast, and iHeartRadio, and always on WTWO's MyWabashValley.com. Okay, so I know one of the big things you talked about last time you joined me a month ago. You had won the Big Ten title. You got your national title. So up next is the World Games. You're going overseas to Germany, I believe. Just talk about going forward. What is your next goal? What is your next motivation?
Yeah, I'm really excited to compete for like USA at the University Games. A lot of young athletes are going to be there around my age, different schools. We got thrower from South Carolina is going, and then another girl from Illinois. I'm not sure what other events or what other throwers are going, but those are the two I know. And yeah, I'm excited I've never been overseas for anything, so to do it for a track meet is honestly, I figured the first time I'd go overseas would be for a track meet, so I'm excited to finally do that.
And we were talking before you got on the podcast with me. I mean, like any sport, there are rankings. So you are a national champ in the NCAA, but you're not number one in the world in shot put. Explain to people where you currently are ranked and how you need to move up the rankings a little bit.
Yeah, I think right now I'm 7th in the U.S., and I think it's between 10th and 13th in the world. I think it's 13th now. And yeah, I'm for sure the youngest in the top 15, I believe. And the next youngest was another competitor I was with against last week. But yeah, so I just got to get a lot stronger, take a lot more throws. I think the biggest change this next year is going to be the weight room. I'm going to have to put on a little more weight and hit the weight room more, bench, squat, all of it.
You speak of that. I mean, I know you live in the weight room, but I mean, give people an idea of what your maybe day is going to be like. How many days a week do you got to spend in there? I mean, just how much time are you going to spend in the weight room?
Usually over the summers, I would do like 3 days a week in the weight room, and then when we get in the fall, we just do 2 days a week, 2 hours each session. It's a lot of. We'll start with a clean, and then snatch, squat, bench, another type of bench like a variation, and another variation of squat, and then some sort of like alternate movement.
How much stronger do you believe that you have to get in the top 5, top 3? I mean, even compete to be number 1?
Yeah, I think to throw 22 meters, me and my coach have talked about before, and I think he said if you take your body weight and times it by 7, that is what your clean, snatch, squat, and bench should equal up to. I don't think it might include front squat. I'd have to look at the numbers, but
so give people.
So I probably need to get like a 5. I probably need to get like a 500-pound bench, 400-pound clean, 700-pound squat, probably like a 315 snatch, and you'll have to add some here and there to that too as well, just to reach that mark. But
and where are you at right now with some of those?
I'm probably around. My bench is around like 455, so I got about 45 pounds out there. I could probably clean around 3. I bet I could get 375, 385. Snatch probably like 245 right now, and then squat I would guess at least 600. We don't really max out on a lot of squats, so.
That is a lot of weight, young man. That is a lot of weight.
It's crazy to think I got to put more on to reach that next level, but it's doable.
So you're the kind of person you like motivation. You won your national championship, but you're an underdog right now because, like you said, you're 7th in the United States, which is, great, but it's not where you want to be. So I guess where's your motivation level at to get in the top 3 near that top ranking?
I just got to keep just winning meets and just keep moving up the rankings. It's not going to happen in a day. You got to go to the weight room and train and go to practices and train and travel to a bunch of meets, get used to it. This next year is going to be a lot, got a lot of changes coming. That first year out of college is definitely the toughest I've heard. So I'm just going to try and make it as easy as possible. Not in the weight room, obviously, but, in terms of outside the weight room and the track.
You speak of that first year out of college, I got to ask you. You said today you were, looking for jobs and doing interviews. How is life treating you outside of college?
Yeah, I tried to take a little break from it all, but I'm back at it. I've been emailing places. I got into contact with the W Club, the alumni here at UW, and I know some people there, and they're reaching out to me, just updating my resume and update LinkedIn a little bit. I don't really use LinkedIn much, but I'll have to do that, and then also probably got to find an agent, find housing. So it's a lot of work. Got a lot of stuff to do.
It's crazy because people think of NFL players and NBA players and agents, but shot put, track, you guys deal with the same kind of stuff with agents and that kind of stuff, don't you?
Yeah, from what I've heard, I don't know too much, but from what my coach tells me, the biggest thing the agents are helpful with is getting you into those big meets. There's it's kind of hard to see this online, but there's rankings to each meet. So any normal college meet is a class rank F, which is low. It's crazy because there's so many good college meets, but it's not ranked the highest. And then you get to indoor nationals, NCAA nationals. That's a class C meet. And then outdoors is class B. I believe U.S. Championships is A. I'm not sure what the World University Games is. And so those rankings, they take your top 5 marks, and based on the rankings of the meet that you threw those at is how your world ranking goes. And so you want to get into those bigger meets, and then agent helps you with that.
So listen, you described that. Officially, even though you've had tremendous success, you still haven't competed at the highest meet level yet. Is that right?
Yeah. Yep. So there's Diamond League and a bunch of meets overseas that are ranked highly, and it's very useful to get into those meets throughout the year.
Wow, very interesting. Did not know that. I want to thank our sponsors of the show, Crow Equipment Incorporated, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates, and Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning. So I got to ask you, where does the Olympics rate on those A, B, whatever scales? Where does that rate at?
It's the highest. I think there's literally its own classification for that meet. Because I think U.S. Championships is A for sure. And then there's some other meets that are slightly higher than that. And then there's one, and then the Olympics is the highest.
So the Olympics is the highest, and we talked about this last time you were on my podcast and before you came on. That's the end-all, be-all goal for Jason Swarens. You got roughly, 2-3 years to get ready for that. Just how bad do you want to get in the Olympics and believe that you can represent the United States in the Olympics in shot put?
Yeah, I like to think of it as like I was thinking about today is it's probably going to take at least 22 meters to make the Olympics, and I threw 22.37, so I got about 2 feet. So if I just gain 2 feet and I have 3 years to do that, it's very possible. That's the goal, and I just got to put the work in myself, and then it'll happen.
That's crazy. I mean, you're right. 3 years to do that, and I know the way you train, it's definitely doable. I know it's down the road, but I mean, is that what you think about all the time when you're competing? This is the Olympics. Is that the ultimate goal for Jason Swarens?
Yeah, I felt like during this season, I didn't really think about it like that because I like to take it 1 meet at a time. Ultimately, that is the long-term goal, but I do think about I gotta worry about the next year, or even my next meet is World University Games. I got to get ready for that. I lifted today, and obviously I'm training for that meet, but ultimately, all those things add up to hopefully make the Olympic team in 28.
Does the kid, Jason Swarens, ever think about going to Wisconsin, being a national champ, being even mentioned in the Olympics? Is that crazy to you?
Well, I think I knew for sure I was going to go to Wisconsin, whether that be football or track, and that happened. So that was great. And I think freshman year, 18-year-old me was like, all right, let's get the school record here. That's the goal. Got the school record outdoors, and then finally this year I was like, all right, we got to get indoor school record. So I got the indoor school record, and then next step is like 70 feet. All right, did that. Next step, NCAA championships, did that. And, things keep building. It isn't just one big jump. You got to have small goals here and there and just keep building on that.
And I know you're representing Wisconsin, but you're also representing Terre Haute. How proud are you to be a national champion from Terre Haute? And, you can say one of the best shot putters in the nation right now is from Terre Haute. How much does that excite you as well?
Yeah, it's very exciting. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and congratulate me. A lot of old friends from high school. It's cool to see that they're still following me. And yeah, a lot of my mom and dad's friends are commenting on their Facebook. I do not go on Facebook very often, but I have my notifications on just so so people can still reach out on Facebook to my mom and dad and congratulate them. So yeah,
you're an old, 22, 23-year-old. You don't do the social media stuff that much, do you?
Not Facebook. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. I don't do Facebook very much.
Well, I know you got a lot of exciting things to do. You're training to be the best shot putter you can be, and you're doing a heck of a job with that. Searching for jobs, doing TV interviews, you told me, and all that stuff. But you're certainly representing Terre Haute very well. You've been the talk of it for a while, and that says a lot. As we know, track and field doesn't always get all the attention, and what you're doing is drawing a lot of attention. So definitely keep it up. You got a lot of people here very proud of you.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
There you go. You got Jason Swarens, Terre Haute South graduate. He just recently won the NCAA D1 national title in shot put for Wisconsin. That does it for this edition of Beyond the Stands.
WTWO's Beyond the Stands podcast is brought to you by Crow Equipment, Andrews Heating and Air Conditioning, Snap Home Media LLC, Sycamore Insurance Associates. Catch this episode again and more of Rick's interviews online at mywabashvalley.com.